Research into album covers, iconic album covers. Album cover number 1. This album cover is Abbey Road by the Beatles. This album was first released on the 26th of September in 1969 and has stayed in production since then. The cover is simply the band members walking over the road on Abbey Road where the recording studio was, and most of the album was recorded. The album cover is very simplistic as it is a simple landscape shot which includes rule of thirds and other photography conventions. They are all wearing different costumes which may give some insight into the band members. The photograph was taken in colour and no filter has been placed over it. I like the album cover because I like the photo they have used and also like the framing. However, I think it's a bit too simplistic and does not give the person much detail into what it's about. On the other hand, this contributes to the design of the cover. I'd like to incorporate this in my own work. Album cover number 2. This album cover is Nevermind by Nirvana. It was released on the 24th of September in 1991. The recording studio was Sound City Studios. The album cover is of a naked baby swimming towards the camera, reaching for a floating dollar. This is a very out there cover. And you can tell that the band's quite rebellious in the fact that it's quite out there. They've also used vibrant colours for their cover, which I quite like, and I'd like to incorporate that in my own work. Another thing that I really like is that it's put the name on the album cover at the bottom, and it's not like the main focus. The main focus is obviously the baby. However, I don't think that I'd be allowed to do something like this on my own cover because it involves child nudity and nudity altogether. Album cover number 3. This is Pink Floyd album. This is a Pink Floyd album, Dark Side of the Moon. This was the 8th album by the British rock band. It was released on the 1st of March in 1973 by Harvest Records. It was also recorded by Abbey Road Records. The album cover was of a glass triangle bending the light. I like this because it's very simplistic. I like the concept of the cover as well. However, I think there's not enough information. I would like to use some kind of imagery in my own work to do with this. Album cover number 4. This is the Sex Pistols, Nevermind the Bollocks. The Sex Pistols are a punk rock band, and this was released on the 28th of October in 1977. This again is a very simplistic album cover that does not have any pictures and only includes words. I like the simplicity and how they've only used words. There are also some bright vibrant colours to make it stand out. This is a very famous album cover. However, it does include rude words which I probably won't be able to use. However, I do like the use of fonts. Album cover number 5. Finally, this is the News of the World album by Queen. This album was released on the 28th of October in 1977. This album cover is interesting because it is a painting of a robot holding a man. I like this. I like the font they have used because it's interesting, and I'd like to consider using this font in my own work. But I don't really like the idea of the cover being a painting. I'd like it to be either like an image of something. So I don't think I'll use that.